Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You want to see how I make this? Stay tuned. Awesome wizard stick. LED inside a crystal. All made with epoxy. Epoxy running down in here with the LEDs in there too. A cool spike on the end, tied on with leather. A little leather cover here to hide the electronics inside there. Alright, you want to see how that's done? Stay tuned. Hello friends, welcome back to Jason Design Shop. Glad to see you here because we have a real design project to do. It's our first sponsored project. So let me tell you all about it. Let's get started. Alright, this is going to be awesome. This project uses epoxy. I've got the cool color he wants. All right, green, diamondback, emerald green. Pigments, we got some other colors too, a lighter green. Came in a pack of 12 from Amazon. They're not sponsoring me in any way yet. And I've got a little surprise element he's not expecting that I'll talk about later and show you when we get to that point. So what we're gonna make, he's asked for, is this a staff, a wizard staff, right? So we're gonna have an epoxy crystal up here, and I've got this nice crack running down the whole thing. So I've got a plan to router that out, make it bigger, and put epoxy in there. So you got this green line going down there, this green crystal up here. Pretty cool, huh? So this is a cherry wood from the cherry wood tree that we've cut down and been doing a lot of projects with. We're just gonna have to make a place to mount that in here, and figure out how to pour this stuff and all that. I've been watching the directions, and the coolest part of design is we've got to figure out what kind of shape of a crystal we're going to put up here. What's that going to look like? I'm tending toward flat shapes, diamond shape, because of the complexity of trying to do something smooth or crazy. Also, I found this. I was up at Dad's property and found this cleaning up junk, this old backhoe hook. And we're thinking of mounting that on there as a part of the base, a nice spike. Isn't that cool? Give it some character. Maybe we'll wrap some leather around that. So all kinds of ideas. We'll see how they all come out. Yeah, let's do this. All right, not sure how this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try. Got this thing hung down. Might knock the camera over, we'll see. Gonna groove this out. Let's see, that way you can see what's going on. I'm gonna go down this groove. Open it up. There's my switch here. That's gonna work. Gotta flip it over now. Gotta router that out. Trying to router this hole in here. These are in the way. I need to sand them anyways. We'll expedite that real fast. All right, that was pretty successful. I'm happy about that. You can see the groove going all the way down this. Yeah, we're gonna have epoxy down all that, so we'll have a nice green going down. It's gonna be awesome. You saw me routing out this hole. That's gonna be for some switches coming up soon. I was also thinking, see how I wanted this to go up and down? So the crystal, the wood kind of goes up and grabs onto the crystal. I thought it would be cool if some of the, there was some epoxy and some cracks coming down off of the low point, the valleys of these wood bumps. And I recently ordered these cool bits for the router as a kit to do signs and sign. I'm gonna make a Jason's Design Shop sign. So we've got these really pointy ones for fine lines, little fat angled ones for deeper ones. Couple different, there's like 3 different levels here. They all have a different purpose. I'm like, what if I took this sharper one and, don't want to break it, and made little lines coming down so it looks like the crystal went into the wood more, kind of brought those 2 pieces together. Yeah, we're gonna work on that design a little bit and see how these bits work doing something so unstable as this. This did pretty good on the deep line. I didn't shake around too much. As long as I was in the original crack, all that extra wood kind of kept me going deeper. But where I got thinner and everything like that, you can see it did want to go sideways, a couple round spots and chip out. That's okay, because that's all going to be looking curvy and wiggly like it's supposed to. We don't want it all perfectly and straight. We can get some up into this little crack too. Right? So it's going to work out, but that I want to be a little more careful. So we'll see how that goes. Watch for that in the future. So you see me digging this hole, you gotta wonder what I'm doing, right? So I need a line coming up to where the crystal will be and going out, can you see there? The other side there, that hole there, because we're gonna put this in here and then we're gonna put it through the hole right here. And we're gonna light it up, baby. Gonna light that crystal up. Another one will go down and down all the way down the crack. So that is the plan. Pretty excited about that. Looks like it's gonna work. I can put 2 of them in there. There's a hole going right into the crack on the other side. See? Perfect. Rock and roll. All right. Cut this out a little bit in a jagged form. We'll try the pull saw and the push saw. angle in there. Alright, I want to make the green crystal out here have some lines that come in with the epoxy in there as well, so it looks like it's really integrated as part of the wood. It's coming out of the wood to help blend this connection point more. So trying to figure out how I was going to route that out with my new router blitz, but I think I can accomplish it with the saw, since I'm really not going to try to make it too wiggly. Fairly straight. I can start thick on this end and work it out to there. So let's see how that works out. If that was a mistake or not. This is kind of the back of the thing, so where the switches are. I don't know if I got much room here, but all I gotta do is make a little hole, put this in. We can start out like that. Get this valley coming in here. Gonna be fun filling up all these holes after the crystal's on there, and then just start bringing this into a crack here. Well, the request's been made to clean this up, so by our sponsor. So I'm going to try to grind this a little bit and see if we can spray paint it black later. Hard to get up in here, in the crotch there. We'll do what we can, maybe we'll wire brush it. Well, can't get much shinier than that with what I have. Pretty good, but there's stuff in the pits and stuff. Let's look at some YouTube videos on how to restore old rusted metal. All right, so apparently there is a product that we can dip this in, soak it overnight, and it will melt that rust away. So sweet. So you got quite a bit of rust still there, but the shiny end looks great. All right, so we'll give that a try. I'll test that when we get it. But until then, we're gonna try to get this mounted up, fitting good on there in a way that's secure and cool. Let's get started. When we get to there. All right, crazy steps and everything here, but it slides on there, fits in there perfect. On the front side, look at that, trimmed off the edges, sloped that. I think some sanding all in here will be good. Then we can tie it up once it's all cleaned up. And it'll look cool on there with leather probably coming up a little bit here, up the neck a little bit. Wonder if we should drill a hole through that, hook that on somehow. All right. All right, guys, welcome back. So I went to the store, picked up some black paint. So disclaimer on this, yeah, there's still rust on there. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that rust up with black paint. It's never gonna be all shiny and beautiful again. So, and besides, we're gonna wrap all this top part up with like a leather strap, I think, and stuff. You never see it. So you only see the shiny tip that's really gonna just be black. So hopefully that'll just keep it good for a long time. And let's try it. Trying not to get any spray on the camera. So I got this little black paper, got my gloves. Let's see how that works up there. Oh yeah. Turning for me, that's nice. Spin around. There, I think we're good. Nice and shiny. Ding. I want that to be really sharp, actually. Looks good. All right, that ought to do it. Done with that piece. Nothing like cheap $1 paint. All right, we've painted this up nicely. Looking cool. Probably get that off of there. It'll be time to get started on some epoxy. Okay. They say do a practice run, so we're gonna practice it on this. Make a cool blue strip in there, or a green strip. And this will have a hole and a dowel going in right there for a big handle. It's gonna be a big hammer, right? For knocking in dowels. Then we're gonna do the seal coat on this whole crack. So when we do fill it in with the light, it doesn't keep sinking away and sinking away. There's a big crack down in there. So we wanna kinda take care of all that now. Then I can lay the light strip down in there, the LEDs, and then fill it. One of the issues we're definitely going to run into is that it's all curved and downhill, uphill. It's going to be hard to get this to fill up to the top. We'll see how critical that is in the end. Maybe we can wait till it's a little thicker, then pour it in, that type of a thing. All right, right now we got to seal it. So here's our first test. All right, I got gloves. Ventilation is, garage doors are open. Air blowing across from my little fan here, from solar powered fan, and I think we're good. So it's 1.1 of each. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I want to About 5 minutes until it turns warm and the haziness is gone. So that's what we're gonna do. There it is. It's all hazy now. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, it looks like I turned off the video and took a picture on accident and missed the pour. But we'll get to see it all again when I fill the crack fully. But I added the green and light green, and you can see the color's pretty cool, but millions of bubbles. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen in the future. Have to deal with that. Every time I have extra, just pour a little section at a time on my workshop bench. Pretty soon I'll have a brand new epoxy top, all different colors probably. All right, this is number 2. I'm gonna put some lighter green in this one, so it's more translucent. All right, a little bit left over. I'm gonna keep pouring the leftovers into the hammer crack, and hopefully it will thicken up and not run out. So I wanted to put the electrical light in there. See what I did? Isn't that awesome? All right, down in there. So I mixed up some glue and some cherry wood sawdust in here, made a ball of clay, and I pinched it right in there. So then the epoxy won't go down and run down in the hole that I have there. So I created a dam for a section of it, and then another one here, because it turns, right, and goes around and the wood pours out. So I created some dams along the way to fill with epoxy, and also it's holding down the lights down in there. Right, I put some of this glue down there, but it just wasn't drying fast enough. It's clear, it would have been nice, but just popping out and shaking, and I didn't want it to dry wrong. So now it's down in there. Here it really turns, so I had to do it one here, one here, one here. But I'll put epoxy in there and all the way down there. And I think when it's all done, you'll barely notice. Look like a piece of redwood there. It goes right through. All right. So the light is down in there and drying and gonna be good. Next, I'll be able to pour epoxy in there. So I'm gonna do around a layer of here. My hammer I've been working on with the leftover epoxy. I had a huge run out the other day. It just rises up. See how that curves up? And that's the problem. So hopefully this maybe will hold it in there. I'm gonna pour some there, pour a layer there, and pour the rest in here. Figuring out how much to make of that is the hard part. I guess I'd rather come up short than waste any. Of course, I'm putting it on the table here, but I want to get this project done before I run out. Okay, let's do this. All right, another round of pouring. Fill this circa pretty close to the top. Hopefully the tape can hold. Then, of course, I poured in here. It ran out pretty bad right there. All this is full. There's my dam. And I need to, the big cavern there, but then it ran out right there. So that's going to take some work to fill. Here it leans over to the side, wants to run out right there. This one got pretty full on the end. So future pours are going to be sections at a time and slow. While I do that, I put another Another layer in there. It's gonna take a while to get up to my mark there. All right, let it dry. Wait. Let's test it. Oh yeah. Look at that, green light. That's awesome. So this worked great. The downslope on this, I just covered it with painter's tape and poured it in here and it filled it right up without any more leakage. That was great. So a little bit pour off there, that'll be done. I'll be able to sand it and then cover the whole thing in epoxy. Put my handle on the other side. So that set me up for this. So now I can know that I can pour in here and it'll fill up these low spots without running out down here. You can see all my... Right, I keep forgetting to record this. So here's a pour session. Number 3, actually. A little higher there. All right, see? I'm gonna pour it in the cracks, cover it with tape so it doesn't leak out. We want it to run in underneath that.
Let's go.
It didn't go into the tape perfectly, probably because it's so flat. So I need to pour some more of these. That's a deep one there. That's a deep one there. Little one there, all of this around the edge. This one. All right, yet another pour. And of course we've got to fill this up one more time. Trying to get up to there, so this is taking forever. It's filling up. And up to this line here. I'm going to do it all over again. Looks like this is all done. I'll be able to sand this all out and drill the hole in the back here and put in the, sand all this off. Put the handle in there, trying to find a good handle for it. And this is where I'll test whether I put a new layer on here. When I cover all of it, will it make it shiny again like this after I sand it? So then I know when I can do a final coat over this whole thing and it'll make this clear again instead of this opaque after sanding. All right, back to work. side project I've been doing. Just went through a round of sandpaper from 60 grit, 90 grit, 180, 120, 180, 220. It's super smooth. But I don't have enough to polish this out. But I'm going to cover the whole thing again with epoxy and see if it makes all this clear again. And if it does, it'll work on that. So this is the test. Always do test pieces. So I might as well make the test piece be something cool. Like a big hammer head. Alright, so I literally just tried these stains, turning the camera off when I thought I was turning it on. But, so it's this simple. The red oak 215 on cherry wood is this to the top of the crack. Right there. The mahogany, red mahogany 225 is the bottom of the crack. A little bit lighter. Side by side. You can almost not tell the difference. But I think that one's a little bit lighter. And then the next one is English chestnut. And that was even darker, this one, back side. Compared to that. It's a little more red in there too, I think. It's definitely staining red. Then the final one was this Olympic Elite wood oil. Advanced Stain Sealant in 1. That is cool. And that is this lightest one I have. Really brings out the red in the wood. So which one is he gonna choose? Or completely different? I'm pulling for this one, but these dark ones sure make it look older. Give it maybe more character. For furniture, this would be great. I'm gonna use that in the future. All right. All right, here's the test log. I'm gonna use the lighter oil on this because it's a light wood. Yeah, to bring the red out. This cherry log, look at that. That's pretty. Ooh, that makes you see through the epoxy there too. That's cool. Probably won't work when it dries though. All right, and our test piece here. Trying to drill the hole for the dowel to go into. Right in the middle. Like a cool hammer. All right, there it is. Cool. Well, one little spot to fill there. This all came out nice and smooth. A little hole here on this rise. Maybe a dad there. These two little holes. Two little ones there and there. Little one there. That's it. Then I'll be able to sand this whole stick. Cool. Excited to be done pouring on this thing. But then we have the other side to do. Some cracks over here we want to fill. Yet another pour. It's a little more clear. And I've got some glitter in this one to see how it does anything cool. Looks like it will. Okay, let's... Time has come to sand this beast down. All right. You don't want to watch that, I'm sure. 40 grit, 60 grit, 80 grit, 120, 180. So I'll have to do the 240 last. All right, guys, I'm gonna sand this down. And you've seen sanding so many times. Even a time lapse is boring. So I'm gonna send you off to check out this other cool video where I go meet some really neat looking animals. A dog. Okay, go check that out. And when you get back, this will all be done. Wait a second. Check out the sun on this epoxy. Cool. Now I'm gonna scratch it all up. All right, guys, I'm at a friend's house and I just ran into two amazing dogs. They're Leon burgers. So if you know what that is, there you go. They are ginormous. His head is as big as mine. Look at that. Super friendly. Yeah, awesome. Just awesome big dog. Look at this thing. They are huge. Super friendly. Heads are bigger than mine, I think. Right? Oh, there's not one, but there's two. You can almost ride this thing. I'm sitting down and he's as tall as I am. Look at that. Look at this paw. Look at this paw. See that? It's big as my hand. Look at that. That's amazing. Big as my hand. But you can imagine the hair. Whew. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to clean this house. Oh, yeah. I have it. That feels good. Big scratch. It's like a lion up here with all this hair. Big lion. Can you imagine playing with a lion that paws like that? He's bigger. Hello in there. Love the little flap down here. Yeah, look at those yellow teeth. What a friendly guy. All right, back to you in the shop. All right, folks, I just did the 40 grit and ripped it all off of there. It looks great. A couple spots I need to fill there, maybe a little hole. Definitely, that came out pretty good. I'm gonna fill the tops of all these. There's the electronics. And this one again. Hate that because the overspill is bad. I'll probably put tape on both sides of it. And this one. Then I'll have to fill up all this when it's there. I don't know if you can see the light. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. It's gonna light up at night. Sweet. Looks like almost the last pour. Alright, here it is. Alright, that one out. Stuck here. I already took the base off. There we go. Well, that's true. Doesn't want to stick to packing tape. I took to the wood there though. There's half of it off. Look at all the layers, different colors. Well, we'll see how that comes out with light shining through it. All right, let's get this bottom off of here. Seems to be more tricky. Cool, didn't stick to the plastic there too bad. A couple of spots. I hope I'll be able to remake this. I'll wrap it with more plastic. But it popped out of there. Woo, there's a cool crystal. That's the coolest part right there. So to actually make this symmetrical all the way around like this, the width here is 4 inches, which means I have to be 4 inches here as well. So I am shy, 1 3/4 inches. So I need to make one that's 1 3/4 inches now. I'll go right there, let's see. Yep, or 5/8, 1 5/8. It rises up right there, so that's deceiving. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3/4, 1 3/4 inches. That's the next one. Which means I only have to go, oh, not as high. Right down there, good. That can happen fast. All right, re-glued the frame. We'll add some more tape to it once it's dry. Okay, already did one round while I filled up a couple of the cracks that were never done well. Over here. That one sunk in, we have to do it again. This one sunk in, I had a hard time. This one looks like it might have run out into the box here, but I don't feel any problems. Started filling up these. Still some bubbles there. That one did a good job. All right, another round. We'll fill this up for the 3rd time. Trying to get up to that mark. And it's 55 degrees out here right now. So we'll see if this is gonna work. Right, folks, getting closer. Don't give up on me now. We're just got that couple more pores, maybe 2 more pores in the crystal there, and then we can mount it up here with some more pores in there to make it all hook together. Put the light in there, it's coming together. We have the color. We know what we're doing here, yeah. There's my hammer, look, I put my symbol on there. I can't do it, it's backwards on camera. Got the hole ready. Cut stick, brown. Had to sand that down to make it fit. So I'll put that together and we'll test epoxy this whole thing and see how that works on this area. Then we'll know if it's gonna work on this crack and make it shiny again without having to super polish it like they do in all the videos. It's a lot of work. And sandpaper I don't have, I'll have to go get. So, keep on moving. Another pour. Okay, one more layer in there. I'm doing it lighter, more clear, hard to see there. And I clogged up these holes. All right, let it dry. All right, gonna glue up the stick. Let's do it. See, there's pretty deep. I don't want to get a ring of glue around this. I'm gonna try to just put it on the inside. Oh, I think it went even more. Sweet. Look at that. All the weight's gone, so I got it in there good. And I have the curve going back. Bam, bam. JD. Did it. There's our hammer. Pretty cool, huh? Ready to go. I don't know. My thought was you can use it to pound in pegs, oak pegs, into a timber frame house, right? So you don't shatter them. I think it'd be pretty cool if we end up doing any of those, whether for actual structural or for looks. This would be cool. On the other side of the logo, my thought is to take this oak dowel, drill in at an angle, and push this into it, and it'll lock into this, keeping this from ever coming out. Because you know the glue breaks and the wood dries out and shrinks, whatever, and that comes out, especially hitting it and shocking the wood. So thinking of putting this in there and locking it in. Here we go. All right, this is tricky. This is the size of the dowel. It is smaller than the log. I mean, than this dowel. This dowel goes up to here. I'm going at an angle. Wow, the camera was literally right here in front of my face, filming me as I put this in and cut it off. this big dowel here, and there's no video. It either canceled or it never filmed. Anyways, that's what I did. Put some glue in the drilled that hole that we just did, and put the dowel in there with glue and cut it off with the miniature Japanese pull saw. And I sanded it with the different grits here and got it really smooth. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this on it. Let's see. Touch of this stuff. Get the area that I scratched up a little bit. Let that soak in. There it is. Little plug holding it there. All right. So, just been out here cleaning up, taking off all the tape and seeing how well some of these came out. Alright, that was pretty good, but there's this little spots to fill there, going around. This might come out good. A little dimple there. And getting all the tape off, seeing where I stand. I had filled that the other day. And this had leaked through. Was a mess, so I drilled a hole in there, cleaned it out for future getting the lights through there. And what happened, I wasn't careful enough, and I think I hit this wire and broke off half of it right where it hits epoxy down there. Let's see if that's going to help you see it. And then of course there seemed to be one micro dot of epoxy on the switch, so when I pull it, it just broke. So now there's no switch. I can't test to see whether it's working or not. So I have to replace this and then find out if it even works. And if it doesn't, I have no idea how I'm going to grab on to a teeny wire sticking out of a little bit of epoxy down there. Not going to happen. So the whole lighting down to here, all that work may be for nothing. I may have just ruined it. Stay tuned to see if that gets fixed or not. So what I really came out to do is to hook this together. So we have the full, ooh, look at those little crystals in there, reflective glitter I put. That's gonna glue onto there, and we will have the full thickness, 4 by 4, or I'm sorry, I think it's like 2 inches by 2 inches. Then we can cut out the actual diamond shape. All right, let's do that. Loosen that one, you can tell the difference. So I think I want, since this is totally, so the tops are the totally flattest probably side, I'll glue them together like that. So the tape measure went, but we've got about 4 inches because we do some sanding and stuff. And how tall are we here? That 4 inches, pretty much perfect. All right, a little bit of puddle it inside of here. I know I'm gonna get air bubble. We better sand these down, put some epoxy between them. I'm just trying to get it sanded flat. It's got a lip on it. I looked in there, I said, wow, that looks cool. Check this out. Whoa, isn't that amazing? That's because I mixed it slowly and stopped. It didn't overmix. That's cool. Really clear on there. All right. We'll puddle it in here so it holds in the edge. Puddle it in there is the idea. There's a little ridge. And then this one, this is virtually flat. Can hit that bubble of liquid and set right on it. So let's see if this is gonna work. Doesn't matter if it runs out around the edge, we're gonna be sanding this with the middle, you know, here. So cutting it to be the right shape. All right, I filled a bunch more of those holes all the way around this. Taped it up. Hopefully I can sand it the next round. I was able to fill this up a little more. I had to lift the whole thing up so it wouldn't run out of here and make a big mess, which is the whole reason I had to drill that hole. And it looks like I broke that wire. I have to sleep on that one. All right, till tomorrow. Okay, friends, there it is. The lines we need to cut on. The bottom corner of the diamond, the top corner. We need to cut off this part and cut off this part. So we're gonna put it down like this. And look at that, it's gonna be in an angle. So I set this the same angle, 75 degrees. Looks like about 76. All right, if we put it on here, on my line, that I want to cut, you'll see 75 degrees. Oh, a little off there. Yeah. It's on 75 pretty much. So we're going to sneak up to that line, cutting it here, all these lines, and then we'll probably sand the rest up to the point. So here we go. Look at that. Cool. So it worked to use the table saw. Although it's got a dull blade. A couple parts that are little gouged I'm gonna have to sand down to. This part got hit pretty hard at a bad angle, little step there. So I'm gonna have to take that down. Hopefully that won't be too hard on sanding. That's a good side, rounded, that's a good side. Oh, gouge there. This is, all right, 2 good sides, 2 bad sides, but we'll see. Time to sand. We're gonna lose our translucent part. It's all gonna get hazy. There it is. Crystal. There's no problem cutting it on the table saw. Sanding it up. It's like 160 grit all the way up to 220. So still hazy. All I got left is this 400. But I've seen people doing it up to 1,000, so I don't know if I can just coat a layer over it and give me my shine back, if I really need to sand it more. Looks pretty cool, huh? I like that side right there. I can see like clouds in there. That's great fit. All right, I'm gonna try it with this one, see if that does much more. So there's really the next big challenge, right? Getting that to sit in there and epoxy it in and blend it down with these things. So it looks like it's part of the stick, part of the staff. All right, that's the next challenge. And making it super shiny as well. a quick little sanding of these areas I've been trying to fill, and the tip and everything. Then we can try to put the crystal on. Okay, this is now sanded to 220. I'm starting to sand one of the wires and light bulbs there, I think, in there, but it doesn't work, won't matter. I don't like some of the blemishes I have here with the, those were the dams made of sawdust and glue to keep the epoxy in place. This one. So I think I'm gonna do like I did the log bed and paint epoxy on this to help make it clear and shiny, as well as give it one layer over the top of this. Super thin so it can't run. Hopefully I can make that happen. So now we're focused pretty much on the tips, the end down there, hooking that up. I do need to pour more in here. It turned out that had a hole right there. We can see the little hole there. Yep, and it was running down in here. One of the reasons I drilled that out and broke the wire. So we'll caulk that off and fill that one up. But that one looks pretty good. I'm not gonna worry about that. This one looks pretty good. We're gonna fill that up later. I don't think I'll worry about that blemish. Since we are not gonna epoxy the outside of the stick. Too shiny, too plasticky looking, I'm afraid, and fake. So we're gonna just stain this to look like, right, it's gonna look like that. Alright, so that's gonna be awesome. Bring out the red tones in it, and it'll feel more like natural wood when you hold on to it, more like a walking stick. That's the goal there. So I think our next step is to take this, drill the hole in there, mount it in the end with some caulking in there, and then it'll hold it. And then we can pour epoxy into each of these crowns around this top and puddle it in there so it becomes one piece. And push the lights up into it and the other switch. Woo, that'll be awesome. Here we go. And remember the tip that we painted? Ooh, we're back to that. So now another thing we can do is work on the end here. I've got this goat skin from an old drum. Might cut some strips and wrap it around this tip and see how it can go around these wings here and up through here and everything, and tie it off. And then put to kind of hide the bolt in there, and make this end all come together and look cool. And I even think it would look cool to leave the hair on it. So we're gonna try that look, because we can always shave it off, I guess, if it doesn't look good. Do it. All right, got it in there, but it came through. So I'm gonna have to grind that down. Here's the question, how do I hold this while I drill a hole right in the middle there for the lights to go into? Maybe in between my feet. Like that. There we go. That's pretty stable. I'm trying to go straight in. Do the best you can with what you got. We are about up to here, about this far up on the crystal, so that should let light get up into there, everywhere. Nice deep hole in there. See up in there. There we go. See up in there. Ooh, cool. All right, so now we're going to test it with the lights turned off and a light in the crystal. So if you're walking down the street, that's what you'll see. Yeah, one side is darker, isn't it? And one side's lighter. So I want to kind of have that face the front. Isn't that cool in there? Look at that. That's gonna be good. All right. I just shoved this through this wad. I think that's gonna be the way to do it, is to put it in first. That way I can really push it up in there as far as I can, like that. Then I can deal with getting this to sit nicely in there, right? Do the caulking around and not risk blocking the hole and can't get it in. All right, so now I'm gonna need some caulking around there and set it up to dry all night. And then that'll be in there pretty permanent. It's coming along, getting close. It's gonna look cool. Put some liquid nails in there. Looks pretty rough, but that's gonna hold it while we fill the pockets up with green epoxy and hopefully round that up. I've been doing things like this. Make sure it's sealed. There we go. That's a dead end hole. Okay. All right. Ooh. Goes all the way down. Got the metal on there. It's coming together. It's quite a crystal on there. Okay. All right. Sanded. Crystal hooked on. It's not that strong on there, the liquid nails, but I want to fill up this one and these two. The next day, that one. The next day, one over here. The next day, one over there. Take a couple days to get this really hooked on here with epoxy. Then I can stain this. All right. So there's the mix. And I rubbed it on with a paper towel and made it super shiny again, the crystal. So that's cool. That worked out too. And now I filled in I tried to paint it on the top, super thin layer, but it still wants to run on my nicely sanded stick. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to sand it again. I'm trying to make a shiny streak there, but it just doesn't want to do it. Gonna have to do it with polishing. All right, now I'd like to use the rest of this in some of these cutting boards, pizza tables, things that have cracked since I made them. But I don't have any tapes to clog the backside. Let's see what I can do. I thought this was totally sealed off. I filled it up with epoxy and it all ran out. Dripped all over down here. So hopefully it didn't go through the inside and mess up the wires that are in there. Also, this is sagging, but I can't lift it up. It's pulling away, and it's pulling away. You can see the hole there. Right there. Probably ran down out there. Liquid nails kind of sucks. It takes days to dry. I'm gonna use glue next time. Alright, let's cut some other straps to tie that bottom on to look cool. I think that's long enough. We need another one, do it later. So now I'm going through the struggling of getting the epoxy to fill up the end here. It wants to run out everywhere. So hold it up, then sand it down. Got to do that to basically 4 sides. I also filled these up again and dim them down. So ready to sand these cracks now. Cool. 1, 2, 3 sides, 4 sides. One more. The last side barricaded up. Let's sand this up tomorrow. See you then. Alright, while I soak the leather to put on the tip here, we're gonna go outside and deal with this. Start sanding around this off. Clean this up so we can stain it. Time to do all 3 of these on there. Get it real smooth. You can see where it's hazy, where we brushed and where I clear coated it. The clear coat is rough. So I'm thinking of going back to the hazy cut. I don't know. Although that looks cool too. But we can't have both. But this looks cool. This is like my hammer. I have no problem with that. Problem is, do we make this hazy or polish? There are some knobs here I'd like to take off. Some bumps and drips that came down. This corner kind of got lost. That one's good. That one's good. These two need to be resanded. And this whole thing's a little bumpy. It's so nice to be able to see into it. Oh my gosh. Alright, we'll have to decide. Alright, look at this. Pretty cool. It's like one piece now connected to the stick. The walking stick. Only issue now is I had to sand that whole side a lot. Of course, all this a little. Good transition in there nice, but this side goes all the way out even over the top. This has a big lip rim. You can see there in the light. See that? And all the speckles and bumps. I'd love to sand that all again and try recoating it with clear one more time. I think I got a lot of bubbles on there. This time we'll make it so it runs upside down or something. It wants to run, that's the problem. And build up on that ridge. Or not. Okay. Alright, I went ahead and sanded all the way around with 220. Actually, 180 then 220 because it was really sticky. That one coat that I had on there was super sticky. It wouldn't come off. So I had to redo it all. I think it was a bad pour. Is why those little bubbles were on there. Okay. Now we have that nice hazy look we had before. And I think I can re-pour on there a clear coat if we want it clear. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Now that's not the 400 grit that we should do. Now we're gonna do one. Pretty cool. This looks a little cleaner than this. The top. Oh, man. I don't know about you, but I am ready to stain this thing. Put on the end covering there, the leather, and then finally deal with the lighting. We can fix that down in there. The LEDs. Let's do this, puppy. So this is cool. Check this out. Are we on? Where is it? If we use the oil on here, clears it up. And I think that's going to be better than doing a layer of polyurethane on there and risking making it ripple and run and drip and make bumps everywhere. Look at that. You can see right into it again. Oh, beautiful. We have ourselves a crystal on the end of a wizard stick. The ball did it. Now, let's turn on the light for some reason. Ooh, gotta do that. Here we go.
Helia, turn that one off.
Ooh, can you see my face?
No, I can't really. Oh, I can see it. It's kind of
There we
illuminated.
go. Look at that.
That's sick.
All right.
Get it close.
Turn it on. Cool. So now we're gonna play with the broken wire in there, so you can fix that. Probably put a little cover on this. Here we go. Let's try the skin wrapped around this. See if that looks cool. Wow, this is still oily. Ooh, it's nice and soft. Right. Okay, which pieces first? Upside down, upside up. Oh, with some of the hair, it looks really dirty. Of course, it's losing hair, which isn't fun. Let's use a thicker one down here. Let's go back and forth. How does that look? Like a spear tied on with a leather strap. Looks a little more authentic. Cool. I don't like that you can see the wood putty down in there. But it is down on the ground on the bottom. Like this. So, tie another one down lower. Like the strap's hanging. Okay. I'm gonna call that good for now. Next. Well, there it is, the light on. Oil on it. Cleaned it off a little bit. Probably shouldn't have put it on there. And now we're gonna play down in there and see what we can do. Touch of solder. I think that would bring those two together, and just lay it down there. In a couple seconds it'll be dry. That's the game I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to solder that together. The heat might melt the wires, but hopefully, and then totally short it out. We'll give it a try. See that right there? Yeah, it pulled on the wire. It feels stiffer, so might be worth hooking up one of the other ones to try it. So here we go. All right, they're on there. Wrap them up in tape. See if we can put some electrical tape around these. They're pretty tight, but that. Let's turn it on. Yeah, baby, she works again. Look at that. And then the top will be on too. And the lights on. That's what it looks like. Now we can go outside. I can stick it in the ground. Ooh. Dude, guys, I'm so stoked that I got that solder on there and it works. That is amazing, just amazing. Solder just touched that little thread sticking up through the epoxy, and the top one twisted and got stuck right into it. Got lucky. All right, I'm gonna try to package this up now and then cover this hole with something. What can we put over that? Putting these switches in there in a way that you can kind of roll them out and turn them on and off, and then hide them behind something. Maybe a piece of leather. All right, let's do that. I liked that. I like that. I tucked it in so it's just a corner sticks out like that. You can reach in with your finger and click those on and off. So now I need to cover that. Let's see what we can find. All right, we want to drill a hole in these and put them here and here. I do think I want to make it high as I can so it can flip open easy. Just cover the hole. Paint these black, wouldn't that be nice, huh? Where's that spray paint? Okay, I just spray painted those right there. And we'll come back in here and hook it on. All right. That's it, my friends. Thanks for watching the video of making the crystal wizard stick. Look at that, huh? Reach in there, turn it on and off. Only thing left to do maybe is do some cool writing on here, some elvish writing that says "You shall not pass." All right. Well, as props go, it looks pretty good. I think it could be used in a movie or something. I hope he enjoys that. There you go. See you in the next video, guys. Do something you've never done before, and it's fun. Laters. Hey, did you enjoy all that? Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Come on, man. Hey, you shall not pass. Oh, I'm getting too old for this.